Hi everyone, it's Jen from practicalbydefault.com, and I'm jumping on live today because I've been wanting to talk to you about something that I discovered the other day at work. So I'm really hoping that you can hear me because I'm hiding in my bedroom because everybody's home and the dogs are out and there's lots of background noise. But have you ever had a light bulb moment or experience something yourself that made you realize that you need to change something about the way that you're teaching? So I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when I introduce something to my kids, schoolwork related, the first thing that they'll say is, no, I can't do it. It's too hard. And it can be really frustrating, right? Especially when it's something in our eyes, it's small, it's easy. And if you screw up, it's not a big deal, right? So in my house, math is a problem. Sorry, there we go. Math can be a problem. It's scary. I have one child who really struggles with it. We have several programs and we're using one right now that seems to work really well. But if there's a new concept or the first thing she says is, no, I can't do it. And she gets really frustrated and upset when she makes mistakes. And as the parent, this can be super hard on us, right? I mean, we want to make our kids' lives easier. We want to help them make the right decisions. We want to, help them through this process. But sometimes it can be because we don't understand what they're going through. So I want to share with you what happened to me at work and how it impact or change the way that I think about the way I teach. So one of my jobs is I'm a fill-in. So I fill in and do odd jobs for this company when I'm needed. And a lot of the jobs that they ask me to do are brand new, things that I have no prior knowledge about, brand new skills, things that I've never done before in my life. And it's a small company, so every single job is very important. I mean, it's very important to companies of all sizes, right? But sometimes with small companies, if you mess up or if you make a mistake, it can really impact that company, their reputation, their bottom line, the time, resources, all that jazz. So I don't know if you've used one of these. This is what we call an X-Acto knife. It has a blade, very sharp on the end. And you use it to cut out different things. Now, I know how to use one of these. I'm not very good at it, but I know how to use one. What I don't seem to know how to use is this with a ruler to make a straight line. For some reason, as soon as I start using the knife and I run it along the ruler, it cuts off. I don't know. I can't seem to do it. So needless to say, the last time I was working, they brought out this big thing and it had on it a line like this. It was about this size. And on this side of the line, not on this piece of paper, this is an example. On this side was a project that represented many hours of hard work, dedication, and all that jazz. And on this side was a project. Two different projects. The only thing separating them was this little line. And so they said to me, take your X-Acto knife and just cut along that line to separate them. My instinct? No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm like, if I mess up, in my head, I'm thinking this. If I mess up, I'm destroying all this time, this effort. I could wreck their reputation. I could put them out of business. Of course, in my mind, I blew it up massive, right? All these things are going to go wrong. And so it's a line and I have to follow it and I can't use a ruler to save my life. So I was panicking. I walked away. I was like, I quit. I'm going home. I can't do this. It took me a long time to calm down and be like, okay, they wouldn't ask you to do this if they didn't think that you could do it, right? But in that moment, by the way, I did do it and I did go off the line a little bit. But, they were able to fix it. But I didn't know that they could fix that. I didn't know it wasn't this great big thing. I thought, in my mind, I had blown it up and I kept telling myself, you can't do this. You always screw up. This big bad thing's going to happen. And after this, I was thinking of how many times my daughter has sat with a math problem that she just couldn't do in her mind. She couldn't figure it out. She didn't know what to do. And instead of me sitting down with her and saying, how can I help? Instead of me sitting down and saying, the worst thing that's going to happen is that you get the math problem wrong. and we go back and look at each step and find out what went wrong, and we fix it. Instead of me doing that, I have said, do your math. It's not a big deal. Well, of course, I know it's not a big deal. But when you're in that situation and you're going through something that you think is really hard and really scary, you don't always see it that way. And I needed that reminder. And maybe, I thought you guys probably know how to handle this better. But sometimes when we ask our kids to read something new, and it's a hard word, and we know the worst case scenario is they pronounce the word wrong, our kids don't see it that way. And, I was thinking as grown-ups, we do things wrong all the time. We make mistakes. Maybe we roll through the stop sign instead of stopping. We make mathematical mistakes as cashiers. We charge too much. We charge too little. We miss an item. And as adults, we're always making mistakes, and we're always learning from those mistakes. And we don't really always know the outcome of those mistakes until we make them. But kids see things differently, and sometimes maybe they just need us to be there. So I needed that reminder. I did overcome the fears. In fact, they've asked me to do 100 things that I had no idea how to do. And every single time they asked me, in my head, I was like, I can't do it. And every single time I had to learn to do it and learn to make the mistake and see what happened if I did mess up and how to fix that. And so it reminded me, the entire week, by the way, of the things that I need to do with my kids when we do something new, whether it's learning how to drive a car like my son is right now. He's absolutely terrified. And, he's working really hard and he's made some mistakes. And, it's been okay. We talked about it and we drew it out on paper and we, shared how to fix it next time. And they need our support. And sometimes we just need to slow down and say, hey, what are you afraid of? And let's talk about this. So if you needed a little bit of encouragement or maybe a shift of perspective the next time your kids are sitting there crying and saying, no, I can't do it, give them a few minutes to calm down. And if you can, ask them how you can be there for them. So that's what I learned this week. I would love to hear what you learned this week. Leave me a comment in the video below and I will check in with you later. Okay, have a great day. Bye.